Film fans of YouTube, hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh, your Movie Apprentice, and today I'm reviewing the film that against all odds has finally come out after 3 years after becoming a running joke and having a stellar marketing campaign. The New Mutants is finally out and I am here to talk about it. It's directed by Joss Boone, stars Blue Hunt, Henry Zaga, Anya Taylor-Joy, Maisie Williams and Charlie Heaton. And this film follows Danny, who after a calamity at her home wakes up in a hospital with some other teenagers who are like her that are mutants, and they are being treated by a mysterious Dr. Reyes. Before I get into this review, I have to say a big thanks to all the support I've seen on my channel recently. I've seen a number of views go up substantially recently and it is very much appreciated. If you are one of the 80% of people that are not subscribed to the channel, then consider changing that today and feel free to like the video as well, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. It just all helps. And yeah, let's just get right into this review, shall we? So after 3 years, is The New Mutants good? I was worried going into it because the runtime was not appealing. 90 minutes is not that long for a film at all. The opening 3 minutes of the film they showed at the online Comic-Con didn't fill me with too much hope because it felt very jarring. And to summarize it, I will say that it's like when your parent comes up to you and says, "I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed." That is probably the way I see this film. But to get all the good stuff out the way, because it's the good stuff I want to talk about, what makes this film is the cast. They have all got great chemistry together. Maisie Williams and Blue Hunt have a great bit of chemistry. Anya Taylor-Joy, who, weirdly enough, this came out when it was supposed to way back in the day, should have still been relatively unknown, and this would have made her this performance, because she is by far my favourite performer in this film. But she's very good with all the cast. Charlie Heaton is good as always. He plays the same sort of character. He plays that character really well. And Henry Zaga, when he is given a chance to shine, he does decent indeed. And just seeing these 5 kids all together and bonding together is really something. And that's easily the best part of this film. It's just unfortunate that there's things that held back these characters. The performers did great with what they were given, but there are a few flaws with how this film was written. And before I get into that stuff, I need to praise as well. The third act is fantastic, and I love the effects in this. I've seen some people slating the effects, but I personally thought all the effects in this look really good. The smilers may be a bit off, but for the most part, these effects are great, especially when Wolfsbane's form was changing on screen in front of you. That was really well done. The bear is really well done. Eliana, when she's powering up, and her big reveal of a sock puppet as well. It's all very nice effects and very nice visuals. These characters are very good to see, and the visuals definitely help that. But for me, this film lacked pace. The first half of this, despite what the director said about this all being his vision and what he's edited by himself, there is a stench of cutting room floor and studio interference in this. The first half of this film is very choppy and very inconsistent. Scenes will come and end very quickly, and you feel like there should have been more to these scenes. There could be more developed in certain scenarios, friendships and relationships that form over the film as well. Sometimes scenes spring out of nowhere, and it would have been nice to see a bit more time building up to it. I honestly think this should have been a 2-hour film, and the first half should have had an extra half hour. Just building these characters up more. Like Dr. Reyes is very much disserviced in this because she seems to be an interesting character, but for the most part her dialogue feels very wooden, and we don't see much of a relationship form with Danny, but there's an implication in the later half of the film that we're supposed to have seen a big bond form. But for me, it doesn't really feel that way. That is a crying shame, because once the film gets halfway through, it does start to find its rhythm. It does start to have a natural flow to it. And it does start to feel like a film. At that point, that's when I start to fully enjoy it. And that second half is great to watch. It is the best thing to see in this film. Once it gets going, you are invested in it. So it's not a terrible film at any stretch of the imagination. It just takes a really long time to get going in its flow. For a film that marketed itself so heavily as horror X-Men, there is very little horror in this. Now, admit it, I don't want jump scare, but I think there's maybe 4 horror scenes in this, and half the time the horror scenes are intercut with a scene of someone just talking, and it'll cut back and forth. The thing with horror is you got to focus on that horror scene, build the tension, then bring the scary stuff. But this film just cuts away from this stuff constantly, so you never really get any sense of horror in it. My favourite scene is probably a scene involving Wolfsbane in the shower. That was probably my favourite horror scene in this one. But again, that's his intercut with other things as well, and that just really affected the flow for me. So as someone who saw this as a horror X-Men film going into it, I am disappointed at the lack of scares in this because it could have been built up so well. There are going to be people out there that are going to call this the worst X-Men film ever. I've seen that quoted a few times already, but honestly, it is not. And I really did appreciate these characters. If nothing else, if for some reason someday some other exec stumbles across this video for whatever reason, bring these characters into the MCU. It doesn't have to be a New Mutants sequel or spin-off, but bring them in there because this was good from the character perspective, and the actors all did a great job. It's just the writing really let this down. Like I say, there's many relationships in this that come out of nowhere. There's some relationships that seem to be built but don't really get built. And it would just be nice to see a slow burn with this film. This film could have been a very good slow burn and just built up the scares slowly. This could have been a tale of these 5 kids that hang out because they've just got each other, but at night that's when scary stuff comes out at them and they have to deal with that, and they always talk about that and stress over that. The reason for the scary stuff, while it makes sense, did feel anticlimactic to me, but again, that's just a minor gripe from me. This is a film where I wish I could just say it was a terrible film, because it's easy to see a film and just see it as this is a bad film. When it's a bad film, you can say it's a bad film, there's no way it was going to be good. This one, the potential was there. They had the potential to make this great, unique film, and unfortunately this just reeks of studio interference. They keep trying to say it wasn't the studio interfering and that this is the vision of the director, but I fully believe the studio had no faith in this film, didn't get behind it, meddled where they shouldn't have, and as a result the end product did suffer, which is a shame. I will be rewatching this. I feel like this film does deserve support. Now I know there is some controversy by some comments made by the director a few days ago. I don't know the ins and outs of it. I'm not qualified to comment on it. I just want to watch a film as a film and enjoy it for what it is without any outside influence or motivations. And for me, I want this film to succeed because after all it's been through, I feel like it deserves to succeed. Is it great? No. I don't think it is even going to be the surprise hit that I want it to be. I really want it to be this big sleeper hit. I don't think it's going to get that. But when it works, when it gets the flow going, when the characters are allowed to be together and just talk, and when the final act comes and the action comes and you see everyone use the full reach of their powers, fantastic. There is a lot of good stuff in this, but there's a lot of bad stuff as well. And as a result, there's going to be a lot of people that will crap all over this film, which is a crying shame. Overall, The New Mutants, was it worth a 3-year wait? Kind of. I am happy I went to see it, and I'll gladly go and watch it again. I have to give a big shout out to the marketing team on this, because after all the pushback, they lent in to everything that's happened with this film, all the delays. They played up that fact in the marketing, gave us some great posters that I just want on my wall right now. They did a good job of getting this out, and I'm hoping that marketing campaign is enough to give this film a bit of a boost before everyone just starts review tanking this. Me personally, this is a film that had potential, all the potential in the world, and it was just sadly missed out on. So overall, I'm going to have to say that The New Mutants is a film that just needs more sugar. So The New Mutants, have you seen it? Let me know what you thought down in the comments below. Would you like to see some of these characters in the MCU, whether that be a New Mutants film or just in the X-Men universe in general? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time everyone, my name is Josh, I have been your Movie Apprentice, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey, thank you for watching, and thank you for making it to the end of the video. While you are here, if you haven't done it yet, please feel free to drop a like and consider hitting that subscribe button for more reviews coming all the time. And also, while you are here, there are some other videos over there that you might want to sink your teeth into. Have a good day guys, and do enjoy.